Hi! So I love doing a little bit of a book tag because it's just a nice and easy video, you don't have to think too much. Well, I say that, with this one I think there is a little bit of thinking because some of these questions are hard, man. Whoever came up with this is a little bit evil. So this is the Would You Rather tag. I think everyone played Would You Rather as a kid, and the questions got more and more ridiculous as he went on. I know they did with us anyway. So I love that someone's kind of turned this into a tag and come up with a few little challenging book questions, and you have to decide between one thing or another. So yeah, so I saw this on my friend Amy, her blog Tomes with Tea. I saw that on her, she didn't create it, but I saw it on her blog first, and I wasn't tagged, but I just steal tags that I'm not tagged in because I'm a rebel. So let's go. Here's the Would You Rather tag. So question 1, I have my phone, so if I'm looking down, it's at this. Question 1 is, would you rather have a friend who loses your books or one who dog-ears them? Definitely dog-ears. Like, I find this a really easy question. I know a lot of people kind of struggle with this because they're just like, God no, you cannot touch a book, like you can't fold a page, how dare you heathen. I'm not like that. I think I used to be. I've relaxed a lot recently in my views on book damaging. Like, I have started to write in my books and annotate them. I still don't really fold the pages because I just use a bookmark, but I don't think it would bother me that much really. And like I wrote when I started, because I started answering these questions for a blog post and then realised that I will just do it as a video instead. I wrote here that books cost money, and if somebody borrowed one of my books and then they were just like, oh, I've lost it, then I'd be pretty mad because I've like bought that book. So that's just money that's gone. And like, if they fold a page and you get the book back, then so what? Like, you have the book back. It's not the end of the world. Like, you might have a folded page, but I don't think it's really the end of the world, but there might be a bit of a folded page. But if they lose your book like forever and you never get it back, if you want that book back, you then have to like go and buy it again, or awkwardly ask them to buy it for you. But so yeah, dog-eared is definitely the one that I'm going to go for. Would you rather secretly love a book everyone else hates or secretly hate a book everyone else loves? Again, this is a super easy one. I'd rather hate a book that everyone else loves, because then, like, if people want to love a book, then cool. Like, I'm sure some of my favourite books are ones that other people have read and not liked or hated. And that doesn't, I mean, like, I get a little bit just like, yeah, but it's so good, why do you hate it? But I find it easier to accept when someone doesn't like something that I love than wait, no, I've answered this wrong, scrap all that. I would definitely rather hate a book that everyone else loves. If everyone loves a book, then that's cool. Like, I'm glad they enjoy it. Like, if I don't enjoy it, then that's just on me. If everyone else loves it and they get joy from it, then fab. Like, I don't want to take that away from anyone. But I find it a little bit harder to accept when people hate a book that I love, because I kind of just, I'm like, why? But it's so good. Why do you hate it so much? Obviously, unless it's genuinely problematic and I've liked it, and then I kind of realise, oh, okay, I feel like I need to change my views on this. It's cool if people enjoy a book that I don't like. That's the short answer. I don't care. Would you rather be stuck on a very long plane or train ride without a book? I don't really like reading on trains very much. I feel a bit travel sick when I do it. Like, I'd rather just kind of look out the window or something. I occasionally, if I'm feeling up to it, I'll read a bit, but I can usually only read like a little bit. I can't read loads, especially if it's a really long journey. I just can't really read that much. But I mean, I don't really have a lot of experience on planes. Like, I've only been on a plane a few times, and they've all been pretty short flights. Like, I think the longest flight has been like 3 or 4 hours. I think a plane maybe is a little bit easier, but I still get really restless, so something like reading, I feel like you need to concentrate on a lot, and I don't have that concentration. So, I mean, either's fine for me. I don't really have an answer for this. I mean, I guess if I had to pick one that I'd rather not have a book on, it would probably be a train. Like, at least on the train, you've got the window to look out of if you don't have anything to do. But on a plane, there's not a lot to look at. When you're like in the sky and all the cool view of the clouds and stuff is gone. Especially if you're on a night flight, there's nothing to look at. So I feel like at least having a book there would be something to do if you don't have anything to do. Yeah, that was a bit of a rambly answer. I don't really have an opinion, basically. Number 4. Would you rather have dinner with your favourite author or your favourite character? This, again, was quite an easy one for me. I don't know about anyone else. I've only realised this recently, but I find that I don't really think of any characters as being real people that I could be friends with. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of people say like, oh, their book crush or like their book best friend or whatever, and like what character they would want to hang out with. I feel like I don't really get that. Like, when I'm reading a book, those characters feel so real, but then when I'm out of it and I'm not reading it, I don't really think of them in that way. Like, it's hard to explain what I mean, but let me know if you understand what I'm on about. So I would definitely rather pick an author. Like, there are so many authors that I love that would be so cool just to sit and chat with for a couple of hours about their writing and their books and just general life. So many authors I feel like would be so interesting just to hear their stories and things. So, yeah, definitely an author. Would you rather date a character you have a crush on or your crush from real life? See above. I pretty much answered this question above. I don't really do like book crushes and things. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really get it. I don't get all that thing. But then I don't really have crushes in real life apart from, celebrities, which don't really count. If I could date Robert Mannion from Star Kid, then I'd be there straight away. But yeah, I don't know, I guess I would say my crush in real life because I don't really do book crushes. I don't know. Next, number 6. Would you rather have your favourite book turned into a movie or your favourite movie turned into a book? I don't think I've ever read like a film to book adaptation before. Like, I've read the Dear Evan Hansen book, which was the stage musical turned into a book, and I loved that, but I don't actually think I've read, when they do like book of the film, I don't actually think I've ever read one. But obviously I've watched loads of films where it's been a book adapted into a film, because that's really common. If you know of any that I should read, of any films that have turned into books, then please tell me, because my mind is blank. So yeah, I'm gonna go with a book turned into a film, just because that's what I've seen more. Would you rather read a book with an annoying cliffhanger or one where your favourite character is killed off? I've read books where characters that I love die, but then I've also read books that do have kind of crazy cliffhangers, and I really like them. Like Thunderhead by Neil Chesterman had a big cliffhanger, and I know that the 3rd book in that series is out this year, which I am like ecstatic about. I'm so excited for that to come out, but I'm getting off track. I don't know. I don't like character deaths very much. Like, a lot of the time I feel like they can kind of be shoved in just for shock value. Like, unless there's an actual reason why a character needs to die, and then I kind of appreciate it a little bit more. Not appreciate their death, you know what I mean? I kind of appreciate the fact that the author has done that. I feel like I'm in the minority here where I do like a good cliffhanger. I mean, it kind of sucks if a standalone ends on a cliffhanger, because then you'll never get that kind of closure on what happens. That kind of sucks. But yeah, if it's a series and it ends on a cliffhanger and you know that the next book in the series is coming out, then I really like that. So yeah, I'll go with cliffhanger. I need to plug my camera in. It's about to die. Hang on, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. My camera is kind of very precariously plugged in with the wire stretched as tightly as it'll go, so hopefully we'll be okay. Let's carry on. So the next question, what are we on, number 8? Yeah, number 8. Would you rather lose the ability to read any new books or the ability to reread books you've already read? Like, I have favourites that I really like rereading, but there are so many books out there. Like, if you're stuck... I've just noticed how bright it is. Wait. I'll film this video eventually. Okay, I think this is better. Please excuse the change in brightness. And now my hair won't stay out my face. This video doesn't want to be filmed. Like I said, there's so many books out there, like thousands, millions of books, that if I could only reread books I've already read, that would be a hell of a lot less than ones that are out there already that I haven't read yet. So, and also as a book blogger who talks about books and like new books coming out, it wouldn't be very good if I could only reread ones that I've already read. Like, my content would get very boring, and I've got to think of the hashtag content. So yeah, I'm gonna go with I'd rather only read new releases. It would kind of be sad not to reread favourites, but there's so many books out there that I haven't read yet, so that'll keep me going for a lot longer than just rereading what I've already read. Number 9, would you rather live in a library or a bookstore? Definitely a library, because the books would be free. Like, you can read as many books as you want, and then you could probably go and request more books to be delivered to your library. By the way, if you didn't know if you could do that, with most libraries you can. Just a quick library PSA. If you want a book that your library doesn't have, then you can go and request it and they might be able to get it in. But yeah, just so you know. I would much rather live in a library, because then I can read loads of books for free, and it would be a lot more peaceful than being in a bookshop. Yeah, who doesn't want the dream of living in a library? It could be like Pages & Co. in real life. Number 10, would you rather lose your place or get a paper cut every time you read a book? What is this question? I'd definitely rather lose my place, because you can find it again. It's a temporary thing. Like, it takes you 30 seconds to flick through a book and be like, oh, where was I? I remember roughly being on page 60, and then you can turn to page 60 and then find where you were. And like, I always end on the start of a new chapter anyway. Like, I never stop mid-chapter, so finding my place would take me like 10 seconds, rather than hurting myself every time I want to read a book. Does anyone else disagree? Because I feel like that's the logical answer here. Would you rather have to always read in the dark or always read books with tiny text? I love these questions. How do you think of these questions? Whoever made this tag, these questions are great, but really hard to answer. Reading in the dark sucks, because you can screw up your eyes, like trying to do this. You know, like Chang in Community, where he's reading the note and he's like, that isn't very fun. But then that's also what it would be like with tiny text. So, I mean, the text in Priory of the Orange Tree is pretty damn tiny. Hang on, let me get it. Okay, scrap that, I won't get it. I'm not sure where it is. But the text in that is pretty tiny. And I guess you could always just, I don't know, move it closer to your face. Or if you really need to, like, get a magnifying glass, I don't know. But reading in the dark sucks. So, yeah, tiny text is my answer. And the final question is, would you rather read by a fireplace or on the beach? Definitely by a fireplace. I don't like the beach. Like, I'm not a fan of the beach at all. Like, I can spend 10 minutes on the beach. I like walking across it, and like if it's nice and sunny, then it's nice to go for a walk. But like, I burn literally in seconds, and sitting on a beach when it's really hot isn't my thing. Like, that's not my vibe. I would much rather be indoors, and if a fireplace is on, that probably means that it's like winter and cozy, and I can be in my pajamas and slippers with like a cat on my lap. Yeah, there's no question about that. It's definitely reading by a fireplace. I might tag some people in the comments if I remember, but if I don't, then just assume that you're tagged. I tag everyone. I'd love to see what your answers are. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with any of my answers and what you would rather do. I will post all the questions in the comments, in the description as well, in case you want to kind of answer the questions yourselves. So there you go. I will see you next time. Bye!